Here is another session from the series Defense Against Dark Acts. We are focusing on developing the knowledge, awareness, and mental preparedness to develop our own protection shields against these frauds and intruders. In this session, we'll learn how to validate a QR code, how to deal with those safely. Now, let's take a situation here. Let's say this is the QR code that you are looking at, and you're supposed to scan the code and pay after you have completed a ride on the three-wheeler. Now, what can you make out by looking at this code? Do you know whether this particular QR code is going to take you to a payment screen or a website? Can you ensure that the website that it might be taking you to is safe? Let's take another situation. If this is the QR code that is pasted on top of a restaurant table and you're asked to scan the code to look at the digital menu, how would you know that this QR code is not tampered? Well, these QR codes are supposed to be read by machines, so no human can ever be able to make out by looking at the QR code whether it's a safe one or not. You would need something that would essentially be a machine-based QR code scanner, but it will have to tell you that the code is safe enough to proceed. So you need an application that should be able to scan a QR code and suggest it's safe or not. If the app is not able to make out whether the code is safe or not, it needs to show you what URL the QR code is taking you to or which payment mode it is going to launch. And then only if you agree to proceed, it should take you to the next step, the particular website or particular payment scheme. And if you disagree, if you want to abandon the process, it should be able to quit there. That is the kind of application that you would need to make sure that you're not getting caught into believing a QR code safe and becoming a victim of a fraud. Now, there are certain applications that are already available in your particular devices market store. It could be Android Play Store or it could be your other devices market store, and you could find something suitable there, an application that matches your requirement. You can see some of these examples that I have captured here. The top one is what I use personally, but again, it's completely up to you. You can evaluate which one suits your requirements. And when you are using one of such applications, and particularly when the application is showing you, where the QR code is taking you to, there are a few things that you can observe to make sure that, okay, you are not taking a wrong decision there. And this is particularly for the scenario where the QR code, the application is not able to decide the QR code is safe or not. So it's showing you the entire content, the particular URL that it is taking to, or the particular mode of payment it is forwarding it to. So if it is an URL, you need to look at the complete URL, whether there is an HTTP or there is an HTTPS. And if it is HTTPS, it means it's secured. So the likelihood is high that the URL will perhaps be safe. And then you can make out by looking at the domain name, etc., that this is the domain name or this is the URL that you would actually would like to visit. Like, for example, a restaurant's digital menu will be hosted on a restaurant's website or domain name. So the domain name should be able to give you that clarity that, okay, in particular QR code is actually taken to the restaurant's domain name. And if it is hosted over HTTPS, then you have that added, um, you know, recognition that it is a safe website. It is supposed to be a safe website. Similarly, if the result starts with UPI, it means that this is the QR code is taking for an UPI payment. An UPI payment will be done through an UPI app, and that will have its own mechanisms of authentication and safety. So you can rely on um, you know, rely on this information to proceed further. But of course, the QR code is, if the QR code is not supposed to be for payments, then there is a requirement to be cautious about it. So essentially, there could be some other, similar kind of text that you can evaluate based on the context. Like, for example, if the result shows a lot of character which has certain bank names in it, some sort of token that says @bank name, something that the bank name that you're familiar with. So quite likely it is leading you to a digital payment website or digital payment application for making a particular payment around that bank gateway or something similar. You can as well look at the URL pattern if it is a URL that is the QR code is taking you to, and be mindful of the nature of the pattern. Similarly, you can look at the text strings in general, whatever is being made visible by this QR code scanner. Once you have looked at it, you can make out whether it's safe to go ahead or not. In general, if the QR code is maintained by a commercial establishment, and if it is safely kept at, let's say, the accounts department or the cashiers, the area where the cashiers are sitting, the likelihood is pretty high that it will not be tampered with. So you can make those physical observations as well, and accordingly figure out whether it really need a second level of safety assessments or not. And if that requires a second level of safety assessment, you should be ready with the right kind of applications, etc. This is how you can actually make sure that you are not getting trapped on a QR code related scam. So we'll close this particular session here, but there are going to be more recommendations and suggestions to be published soon on this particular series. Keep watching. Thank you.